Greetings, everyone. It is soccer over there. How's everyone doing today? We doing okay? Are we surviving? My cat's not surviving. It's running around at my feet right now, screaming bloody murder for food I've already given it. So I want to go ahead and get this out of the way early. I am joined on the show by John and Jason. Jarrett will be popping in here and there because Jarrett's awesome. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing before we get started?
Slow news day.
Yeah. So if I could take the liberty here, I do not want you guys to chime in on this because I feel like you've already chimed in the city of Atlanta anyway for the past 18 hours.
We've done enough chimes for Big Ben to be satisfied for a couple of holidays.
That's right. Okay, so I've had a couple of people DM me regarding Frank DeBoer and the Atlanta United situation, and I want to give my 2 cents here, and I will say this. Some of the takes that I've seen on social media, solid, not happy. I wasn't happy. I was in the 200 section, and it was sort of like the Roman Colosseum, I imagine, back in the day when people were calling for blood left and right. But I will say that by and large, most people walked away saying either 1, fire Frank now, or 2, give it time, but be prepared to fire him. My take is this, that the fire Frank now will do you no good. But Nick, oh my God. Ooh, what are we going to do? We're not scoring goals. We're not creating chances. It's stagnant. Yes, it is stagnant, and it sucks. And I do think that if Frank is at home right now feeling like, well, they'll just be patient. It'll happen. We're going to be a possession-based team, that maybe there was sort of a misreading of the Atlanta audience because they really want that explosive Tata Martino offense back. You're not getting Tata back. He's not coming back. It's time to accept that reality. Maybe you could have found someone who played that style of ball a little more than Frank does. But here's the thing. You would have to have someone identified who fits that role, 1, and 2, identify someone who fits that role who wants to come here. So it's a 2-part process. I believe what they want with Frank is someone who can play that high-end ball, that sort of nice European aggressive style with possession, but can still facilitate that other part that we scream about on this show, and that's the model, which is develop young players, sell them to Europe for a ton of cash. That is the Ajax system through and through. Will Frank ever play that explosive brand of ball? I don't know. I think if it does happen, it's going to happen in June. That is, and you can push back on me all you want. I'm just saying I think this will all start clicking full speed in June. We'll start to see glimpses of what Frank really wants over the next couple of months. But right now, we are so deep into schedule compression that I don't think you're going to get an accurate view either way. Because if they come out in the next game, the game after next, and blow it out, right? They look like $1 million. I don't think that's a true indication of where the team truly will be either. I don't think where we are as of last night is a true indication. I don't think if we appear on the other end with a significant victory that it will be a true indication either because of schedule compression. I don't buy into the whole fire Frank. I don't buy into the let's give him 55 games to see how it works out. I do think that somewhere in between will be the accurate response. I don't think the team's going to do away with Frank either way. Outside of really him finishing dead last in the league, I think is the only way that the team would even remotely consider it. But here's why I say not to fire Frank right now. Let's look at Real Madrid. Real Madrid had Zinedine Zidane, the most successful manager in recent memory for them, walk away on his own terms, said, I'm walking, I'm done. Sound familiar so far? Okay. They brought in somebody. And what happened? Boy, howdy, they fired him just as fast. Out the door he goes, right? Because Lopetegui was supposed to be the man. Ended up burning all the bridges with the Spanish Federation because he was going to be the Real Madrid guy. Nope. Didn't work out. Florentino Perez pulled the plug. Out he goes. So then you bring in Solari. Nope. That's not working out either. He's got to go. So what happens is you can get into this cycle of buffoonery if you're not careful. If you say, oh, well, he doesn't manage the way we want to manage. Oh, he doesn't do this. Oh, he doesn't do that. Pull the plug. Then you start getting into the death spiral of management hires. And to me, that's where Real Madrid has been until this point with Zinedine Zidane. And they have to give Zidane now the moon to get him to come back, which I pretty much guarantee you is total roster control, a substantial transfer budget, probably I would guess in the 300 to 400 million range. And then a list of players. Here's who I'm going after. Eden Hazard, Kylian Mbappe, I guarantee you are at the top of that list. It will not be Neymar because the Spanish tax man, undefeated yet again, going after our man. But I would say that Bale, Cruz, probably Modric, Ramos will be gone. And I think Modric will be gone on his own accord, unless Zidane can convince him to stay. But there were rumors that he was supposed to be going to Inter if they could put together a deal for him. But Bale, Cruz, Ramos, bye. Because this is not Ramos's team anymore. It was for a long time. But we've seen where that gets us when we start letting the inmates run the asylum. And when the fan base goes crazy and says, fire, 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 you're in a position now where the team president has virtually no control. He's handing it all to Zinedine Zidane. So there's no guarantee that this move is going to work out because they don't have Ronaldo. They don't have the ghost of Christmas past, looking, saying, hey, here's what could be. No. That's not happening. There's no magical silver bullet here for Real Madrid. And for the Atlanta fans who say, fire Frank, there's no magical silver bullet to fix that situation. So the best clubs in the world go through this. Hire this guy. Oh, that's not working. Get rid of him. Bring in this new guy. Oh, wait, nope. Why is this? We seem to be getting into this world of diminishing returns. Wait, no, get him out. Okay, bring this other person in from the academy who will play the way we want to be played. No. Sometimes you have to go through the suck to get where you want to be. Pep Guardiola preaches this. Sometimes you got to suffer to get the results you want. Can the city, as a fan base, deal with that? That's the question that the fan base, has to answer. No talking head in the world will be able to say, yes, the fan base can survive it. No, the fan base can't. That's something that you guys, the supporter groups out there, have to say. Because you have to decide whether or not the Orlando Cities of the world, who say that Atlanta fans are plastic, or the Red Bulls fans who say that the Atlanta fans aren't ready, haven't paid their dues. You're the ones who are going to decide whether they're right or wrong. Not Jason Longshore, not John Nelson, not Nick Aliffi, not Felipe Cardenas, not Jared_Smith. No. That's you who decides that. And part of it is coming out to the games and cheering on the fans. And if you boo, that's on you. I'm not going to issue judgment on that, but I will say that it's on you to come out and still support the team. Because Frank de Boer, let's say he does turn it around. Like the old days of Mr. Rogers, little trolley comes along, ding, ding, we're going to the land of make-believe. Let's go to the land of make-believe right now and pretend that Frank de Boer turns this thing around. And he turns Atlanta into a juggernaut where they're developing talent, selling it to Europe for insane markups, and it's working out. Let's say that Zidane goes back to Real Madrid and starts winning them Champions Leagues left and right. Is the suffering worth it? Is the suffering worth right now, short term, what could be a very long-term map to success? So you have to decide, what does winning look like for you? When I would get in front of these C-suite executives at my 9 to 5, that's the question that I ask. What does a win look like for you? Because that's a question every person needs to answer in any facet of their life, whether it's professionally or whether it's in a situation like this. What does winning look like for you? Are you willing to pay the price to get there? If the answer is no, I don't know what to tell you. Good luck in sports in general. And I get that Atlanta's a SEC country, so it's, if Auburn fans, Tennessee fans, Florida fans, Georgia fans, you win a game, you're the greatest team in the universe. You lose a game, fire everyone and start from scratch. But guys, worldwide, this is happening. Atlanta is not, this isn't a little vacuum. Real Madrid's dealing with this right now. Chelsea is dealing with this right now with sorry ball. Wait, well, we're suffering. What do we do? Oh, my God. Hey, it's part of the game. Welcome to the world. And for the new fans, I understand where you're coming from. You fell in love with that attractive, explosive Tata Martino system. This is different for you, right? Sort of like when you are a college football fan and your team's 5 wide, slinging it left and right, or spread option, and it's very exciting. And then you go to this like I formation, 3 yards in a cloud of dust system. Okay, I get it. It's different. May not be what you signed on for, but you're here. So be a part of the growth process. Every other fan base around the world is dealing with the same thing. And with this, guys, I turn it back over to you. Now that I've ran my mouth substantially, I think the Zinedine Zidane hire, it needed to be done. I think it's great. They're going to have to spend a ton of money, and they're going to have to knock on PSG's door first for Mbappe. Gentlemen, your thoughts on the Zinedine Zidane hire?
I have one very important question.
Okay.
What does this mean for our favorite Costa Rican, Keylor Navas?
It better mean he's starting.
Mm-hmm.
It better mean he's starting. You show me the record of success when that man is not in between the post, and you get back at me. Because as we posed a minute ago, what does a win look like for you? It looks like Keylor Navas in goal is what it looks like. Stop disrespecting my Costa Rican son and allow him to perform his duties admirably again.
Yeah, I've got to see. I've got to have Navas start. To speak English very goodly, complete with verbs. Navas start.
Got to. I mean, I'm curious to see what is now different than when Zinedine Zidane said, you know what, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm out. Adios. Ciao. And now he's taking it back after 2 other guys were in his office. And, I mean, what's different? What did he get? Like, what was he given to come back and try to save this nonsense? That's what I want to know. What kind of deal did he get?
I think it's Ramos.
Real.
Yeah, Ramos is not being in control. Ramos losing his hotline to Perez's office. I really think that's it. Because the players had so much control because they could because they knew, just like with Chelsea, when you have a team that cycles through managers, someone in the locker room ends up getting the team president or the owner's ear and says, hey, this is the kind of guy I think you need to go get. Go get this guy. He's great. And the team, the team owner's like, okay, sure. Yeah. We'll go make that move. And then it doesn't work out. And then on to the next and on to the next. I think Zidane came in and said, here's a list of players I want. I will sell anyone I don't like. Anyone who I don't think has the gears to move this team forward, I don't care if they're your best buddy, Mr. Perez. I don't care if you're going out and you're doing wine tours with them. Doesn't matter. They're out. And I think Florentino had to say, okay, cool. That's fine. Go ahead and pull that trigger. And I think that's the only way you get him in, is giving him total roster control. It's the Nick Saban deal, is essentially what you give him.
Okay, I have an even more important question.
Okay.
Was part of the deal to be able to wear the most ridiculous pants known to man?
They're so Lululemon-y.
Oh, my God.
What in the world's going on with that introduction photo? What in the world is that
to me doing? Means that he got carte blanche to do whatever he wanted to come back, and that included that photo.
That is I am so big around this club, I can wear I don't even know what they are. I mean, they're skinny jeans.
No, Jason, you're wrong. You're wrong. That is like skinny jeans are the boot cut to whatever these jeans are. These jeans are like
thing. He's got
they're vacuum.
He's got the cool sneakers, but what's the thing between the sneakers and the skinny jeans?
Yeah,
what's going on?
That's the Brooklyn hipster mega cuff. So what he has, for those who have not seen the picture, it's Zidane in these vacuum seal, skin tight spandex blue jean get up deals, but they're like about 6 inches too long, and so he's cuffed them. They're not tailored at all. They're cuffed about halfway up his calf.
So they're cool. They're like Lululemon culottes.
Yeah, it's really strange. It's a strange outfit, top to bottom. I don't know if anyone signed off on this in the Zidane household, or whoever told him, "Hey, Pops, yeah, you look great, man. Go for it. Go out there and take those pictures." No. Someone around him should be fired just for allowing him to go out in public like that.
Look, you have carte blanche when you wear that in the official welcome back photo. If he's wearing that on the touchline, I mean, all bets are off. If he's wearing that on the touchline, he will be able to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Like very super cash. Like, hey guys, yeah, it's my club now. Thanks. Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, I am the captain.
I can't wait to see his uniform. I can't wait to see what he wears on the touchline now, considering that he went Lululemon culotte for the promo photo.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So, guys, let's go ahead and because we want to make sure we get our sponsors in here. Let's take a break, and when we come back, I don't want to put anyone on the spot. Get some time to sit on it. When we come back, who are the transfer targets for Zidane out of the gate? If you're Zidane and you have $400 million at your disposal, who are you getting and why? When we get back, Soccer over there, Nick Aliffi, Jason Longshore, John Nelson. Here will be popping in. Be right back.
Today's show is presented by Appolinsky & Associates, personal injury lawyers with over 30 years of experience, supporters of Atlanta United, Faction, and Inter-Atlanta Youth Football Club. If you've been hurt in a wreck, contact Steve today at steve@aa-legal.com or call in 24/7 at 404-377-9191. The initial consultation is free.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yep, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
We know that every driver is different, and a one-size policy does not fit all. That's why Country Financial offers a variety of discounts, so you get the coverage you need and the savings you deserve. From good driver to good student, multi-policy to multi-car, we've got a discount to suit every driver. Call Jason Wright at 678-568-6871 today to see what you could save. On Facebook at Jason Wright Agency, or by phone at 678-568-6871. Discounts vary by state. Policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, or Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Every hiring manager knows that a company is only as good as the people it's made from. So where do you find the best people? That may surprise you.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
This is talent worth knowing about.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
All right, Nick, Soccer over there. We are back. Jason Longshore, John Nelson. I'm going back and forth from the grill back to the kitchen. We're also doing Food Network over there. Anybody out there who's interested? Yeah, very nice. Got to get dinner going, man. We got to do a show. Got to get the dinner stuff worked out, So one thing that also has to be worked out is Zinedine Zidane's transfer package that's going to be coming up here for too long. It's coming right around the corner. Real Madrid can pretty much buy anyone they want. I don't think that's any sort of secret. As we talked about, Bale has got to go. I don't think that's any sort of secret here. I think Cruz has to go. Ramos is probably going to be gone. So, guys, who do we bring in, though? Because it's easy to talk about who's going to be gone. If you're Real Madrid, the checkbook's open, baby. Who are we getting?
Well, you mentioned the spine, and you mentioned what they've had in the past. Look, they don't have a Cristiano Ronaldo. They don't have that focal point. I don't know if there's that kind of player out there at the moment. I mean, the best players in the world, who could you legitimately get right now? Are you going to go get Mbappe? Can you get Mbappe? He's the one who maybe you could get. Eden Hazard, there's been all the conversation about him. Could you potentially get him? I'll tell you somebody that I think they could get and I think would make a big difference in that team. Sergio Aguero. A guy who gets kind of left out of the big discussions a lot of times, but I mean, look at what he's done at Manchester City. He gets left out at Manchester City at times. I think he'd be an upgrade. I think he'd bring a little bit of a different spirit at Real Madrid. And I think he's a reasonable get. I think you could pull him in and change the shape.
But would Aguero
the idea
want to leave? It's the bigger question.
It's Real Madrid. I mean, yeah, he's at Manchester City, but it's Real freaking Madrid. Yeah, I think he would leave. I think for a Latin player, Real Madrid and Barcelona, either one is the holy grail. And you get the opportunity to go. I mean, does he want to stay in a rotation at Manchester City? I don't think so. I think he'd go.
But is he healthy enough to last a full season? That's my biggest thing. Is he being rotated? Yeah. So he's being preserved for the stretch run in the Prem and the stretch run in Champions League, so you don't burn him out quickly.
Could be, but he's not first choice automatically at Manchester City, period. And out of your top 20, top 30, top 50 players in the world, I think he is a reasonable get, and you could find a deal that everybody's happy with.
I'm going to say Cavani. I think that you're going to go to PSG, but you're not going to get him.
He's sitting on the bench, so yeah.
Yeah, and he's somebody that you could get on a budget. Not that Real Madrid needs a budget, but you're going to spend $300 million to get Mbappe, and I think PSG could do it because the financial fair play issues that they just if you want to make them go away overnight, sending Mbappe to Real Madrid would do it. If Mbappe wants to pull that move, I think he would personally. But you're not getting Neymar, which was previously the one mega target you were going to go after. Mbappe would cost you a significant sum of money. So let's go ahead and get some goals quickly because you're going to need a legitimate striker out the gate. Cavani's sitting on the bench. I think he still has it, and he would certainly be a performance upgrade over Bale, in my opinion, just because Bale's checked out. So
I don't know if he still has it. That's the concern I have, is I'm not positive he still has it.
Just because you're not.
Or is it a Marcus Allen situation where he's sitting on the bench and he hasn't been getting any? He's only been getting older on the driver's license instead of on the pitch.
It's possible.
I think that's probably the more likely scenario because there are people who still want him, but it's not working out obviously at PSG. PSG needs to start shedding payroll very quickly. So, you have to bleed that talent from a place that's not going to directly affect your bottom line. And that's the guys who are sitting on the bench right now. Cavani's the biggest name there. You need a striker. You need to not spend a fortune doing it. There's step one. Now, if you want to go spend $300 million and get Mbappe, by all means, have at it and start building your ultimate team. The new Galacticos. It can be done, and he'd be an absolute game changer. But
if you're going to move on from Sergio Ramos, you've got to get a center back. Who would that
agree?
Be?
I would call up. I I would call up Juventus and see about Bonucci. I think he's in the age range where you could still get something out of him. I would also say that the way that Real Madrid likes to play, that his ability to send the ball from the back line up to your attackers, it really is exceptional. And that was the one shining thing that he had during his little spell at Milan, was the fact that when he gets the ball, even when pressured, he can put the ball up to the strikers, break blocks very easily. He's absolutely phenomenal at that. That is who I would go for. Because if you're Real Madrid, you're not concerned about player loyalties and, little petty things like that. Money will override that very quickly. That's who I go after if I'm making that call.
I'd say the type of player you'd love to get, but I think the club loyalty does factor in this one. I think you need some personalities in this team, and one, the type of player to get would be a Diego Godin type. You're not going to get him. You're not going to get him to come across town from Atletico, I don't think. That would be a coup, and that would be a statement if you could pull that one off. I don't see that happening.
Well, the word is that he's already got the deal in place to go to Inter.
But see.
Yeah, but they could be hijacked.
Who could throw more money? But would he go across town? That's the question.
Oh, no,
if you
I don't
could,
think so.
If you could pull that one off, that would be quite the introduction, wouldn't it?
It would be. It would be a statement. It would be a statement. If you could flip a guy, to me, that is the statement of intent. If you can flip a guy, that is, you're doing some different kind of business then. But I think you would have to pay a substantially large amount to get that done.
Oh, yeah.
Personally. Not in transfer fees or anything like that, but I'm just saying that to get that kind of move, it would be problematic. Or you could go back to PSG and get Thiago Silva. I mean, that's another move that, as another former Milan player, it broke my heart when he left. But he's a guy who, if he wants to take that step, because they're, despite what PSG fans may think, there is a step above their club. Take that next step, go to Real Madrid, bring home some silverware. I think Thiago Silva would be all about that.
What about you, John? Who would you go grab to be the new Real Madrid? If we're talking Monopoly Euros, it would be an Eden Hazard, because the role that Sadi has him playing currently at Chelsea, you can tell he's not happy about it. You want the shiny object, which to me means Mbappe. But then you're looking around. Do you try to pull a Sadio Mane away from Liverpool or something like that? Now, like I said, this is Monopoly Euros, so there's no logic attached to any of this. Is it a Mane? Is it a Salah? Because a lot of folks are looking at his current form and sitting there going, So touch him. Would not touch it.
Like I said, this is Monopoly Euros and no logic attached. That's why I'm just putting names out.
Wouldn't touch it with Monopoly Euros. I am a little worried that you might be looking at not quite a one-hit wonder, but kind of close. I'm very intrigued by Mo Salah right now.
Yeah. So for me, it's those big names. To your point about Aguero, I wonder how Pep currently views him. Is he saving him for the stretch run, making sure that with his history of being dinged and being out here and there, is he being saved? Do you chase after a Sterling or a Sane, even though we know that Pep will want to hang on to them, and CFG would as well? No one from Arsenal. Chelsea would be Hazard. If you're looking at Spurs, I would defer to Joe Patrick when it comes to trying to think of those names. And I'm trying to scan the world and see if there's anybody else. But, this is a limited list, even with Monopoly Euros for me.
So I think Koulibaly from Napoli would be somebody who you could get at a reasonable rate. Probably need about 80 to get him out of there, just because you're dealing with De Laurentiis, and De Laurentiis is clinically insane. But he's somebody who has had a lot of trouble in Serie A. He was the victim of racist taunts from Inter fans. He may be looking to get out of Dodge. It wouldn't shock me if he wanted to leave Serie A after this year. But even though the team really rallied around him after that, I would say that that's somebody who you could look at because he's very good. He knows how to distribute the ball. That's somebody from Serie A that I would have no trouble going to get. We also have, you could get Romagnoli, I suppose. You could get Romagnoli. I don't know if Milan would let him go. You'd have to make like a moonshot deal to get Romagnoli out of Milan. But who knows? Anyway, the world of soccer is a strange place. A very, very strange place. More so than just the business side, which we absolutely love talking about. One of the deals that we have with soccer is that occasionally you have to deal with knuckleheads. And we will move on and evolve from knuckleheads sometimes to absolute nuclear-powered moron. And we saw this in the English Championship again with Aston Villa versus Birmingham City, when Paul Mitchell, that's the guy's name, we're going to put it out there because he's an idiot, and idiots deserve to have their name called out. So Paul Mitchell of Rubery, Worcestershire, ran on the field and punched Jack Grealish from behind like an absolute coward. I'm editorializing that, and I don't know if anyone would really argue with me on that. He ran up and just decked him, guys. And I think it's important. Do we have that audio? Can we run the audio for the fans out there?
Yeah, we do. Let's play that now. What's this from, John?
Thanks to the broadcast in and of itself at Sky Sports Football.
All right, here you go.
But high anxiety. Oh, there's an idiot on the field. This is disgraceful. A fan has run on and physically attacked Jack Grealish. An utter disgrace. That just cannot be crossed, and Jack Grealish has done extraordinarily well to stay calm there.
Yeah, words just absolutely fail me. What an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace to see anything like that on the football field, and the way that Grealish has reacted, fair play to him, because I think a number of people would have turned around and tried to hit him.
Crazy, huh? Absolutely nuts. Completely mental.
I think the thing that surprised me the most, there's a lot of things about it, but the thing that stuck with me is idiot runs on the field, punches a player, stewards come out and kind of escort him off, and he's waving at the crowd, and you're
blowing
getting
kisses.
A reaction from the crowd. If that happened here, I don't think the guy is going to be able to wave.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I was shocked at how just light the guy was handled. You know? I mean, it was like, oh, okay, you've had a little bit too much to drink. Ah, ha, ha, ha. That was a funny prank. It wasn't a guy running out on the field to hug somebody. He punched a player from the opposing team. That's craziness.
Yeah. Yeah. They handled him the exact same way that you would handle somebody who ran on the field to get a selfie. Which was very shocking that you had that kind of response. In America, try pulling that off in Philly and see what happens, because you're going to get your face planted. Good luck to you. I'm more shocked that one of his teammates didn't come through with the elbow drop on the guy. And, kudos to them for not escalating it that way. But I was beyond shocked that one of the players did not retaliate and take it to a new level. So,
yeah, same here. I was surprised somebody didn't come in and 2-foot the guy in the face. I was expecting something like that. I think it just took everybody by shock.
Well, there's been a lot of questions as to what can be done to handle this kind of, lack of a better term, interaction. His lawyer says that his client cannot explain what came over him. This is from the BBC. His foolish intention was to just go onto the pitch and whip up the crowd. So that is, okay. Yeah. So far, the guy has received £350 in fines and costs and has been banned from attending any football matches in the UK for 10 years. So
okay, the last part's good.
That's good. We're okay.
I still
so far.
think Birmingham City needs to have empty stadia for a certain number of matches for home matches.
It's tough because I'm not going to go there without knowing what their security situation is, if they've had issues with it before, if this is a first-time thing, if the guy just, evaded everybody. I don't know. I don't know enough to say.
Well, and you had the one steward who apparently there's video of the one steward after Grealish scored, I think, where he tried to rake him across the Achilles.
If you have that, and if there's a history of issues, and this is a rivalry as well, you do have elements of that in this too. If you can prove all of that, then yes, that's a whole different thing. But just for this incident, if it is an isolated thing, I don't know how long I would go with a empty stadium ban. I think you have to, though, create a plan to deal with this from a broader sense. And whether that is minimum security, certain levels of security, certain levels of police presence, whatever it is, like something has to be set here, because I don't know where those rules lie, and I don't know where they differ from Premier League to Championship to League One to League Two.
Well, I can tell you,
it has to be addressed better.
In Serie A, they would boot them. The fans would be out. They would probably have at least one or two closed door sessions, and that would be, beyond that, because I can tell you that they've had that before in Serie A, where fan violence got way out of hand, and a police officer died during the Sicilian derby, and they booted all Serie A fans out. And that's the Duchess you hear yelling in the background.
Have they ever had a empty stadium match in England for fan trouble? I can't think of one if they have, and they very well could have. I can't think of one.
Yeah, but it's something that needs to happen. I mean, you can't, and of course, Birmingham City came out and said, hey, look, this is abhorrent. We don't like this. The guy is banned from attending matches at St. Andrews for life, and he's also banned from away matches as well. So He gets no rights and privileges from Birmingham City going forward. And it gets worse, guys. They had a fan who trolled Grealish online. Okay, yeah, Pumpkin. I can't. Daddy's talking right now. So,
this joker. Oh my goodness.
Okay, what happened with this? I don't know this.
Okay, so the guy goes online and goes after Grealish's deceased infant brother, who died when Grealish was 4 years old. He put a picture of the baby's grave online, and goes into this whole thing about your brother's dead. That gives me tremendous comfort. I mean, which is like, how in God's name do you even do that as a human being? I mean, what possesses? No football rivalry is worth this. Putting an infant's gravestone online and saying, well, Grealish can do whatever he wants. It just brings me great comfort that his brother's dead. Like, whoa. No. So that guy has been banned as well by Birmingham City, which is fine and good, but he's also been doxxed. And so for those who don't know what dox means, enterprising individuals online will go and spill all of your personal digital information out to the public. So that gentleman's information has been posted online repeatedly, and apparently they've had to leave town. So I'm not going to say I condone that, but, I grew up in an era where you talk mess and you might get hit. So it's brave to be, keyboard warrior, for lack of a better term. It's another thing whenever you're behind away from the screen, and the stuff you say has real life consequences. And it's, I wish that guy would have made better decisions in life, but he's going to pay for this one. And Grealish ultimately had the final say because he scored the one winning goal, which, amen, karma. Thank you for coming through and getting it right. So, I think that and I hate to say this because, it's not the club's fault, but you have to send a message. I'm going to say 3 games, closed door, and you're going to issue the club a substantial fine, this was mentioned on ESPN FC, which then they would turn around and sue him for, Mitchell.
Do you dock points?
And then because if you dock them and they get relegated, well, don't be an idiot. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I think that you absolutely, you dock them money, you dock them points, you hit the club because that's what the knucklehead cares about. Knucklehead cares about the club more than anything, and he's willing to make a completely asinine decision as a result. Congratulations, your club is now punished. Enjoy.
I'm good with that. I think they need to set standards, and I don't. Again, I don't know the football league rules here. I don't know if there are standards, and they just haven't been, addressed yet. But the fact that Birmingham City handling it is good, and their statement is good, and their ban is good. But the league hasn't said anything about punishment. There's got to be something.
Yeah,
I would think there has to be. I haven't seen anything yet on it.
I mean, there's got to be something. Like, that's not even if right now it's a strike one type of thing, and it's you're on probation, and we're monitoring your security, hiring practices, blah blah blah. There's got to be something. Otherwise, you're just opening the door up for morons to do moronic things.
Yeah, and there's been mention, you got to have heavily armed people near the field as a deterrent.
That's stupid.
That's stupid. No. It's that would, if you're that drunk and you're that stupid, normal logic and thought processes obviously they don't work for you in general. So it's important to just, one, you educate your security staff. If that's why you have your back to the sporting event and you're not being a fan. You back to the sporting event. If you see someone who's looking squirrely, you call someone over, keep an eye on them, and 9 times out of 10, that person who is acting squirrely is going to probably do something extraordinarily stupid. And this comes from experience of working in bars and working in clubs and having to do security. The person who's acting stupid is the person who's going to do something stupid. It just breaks down that way. As far as our individual who's online, I think a lifetime ban. I would go as far to say a lifetime ban from all UK soccer games. If you're going to do something that dumb, you're not showing up. If you want to be a troll online, but you can also watch the game online because you're not going to watch it in any venue.
But I just wonder how that's monitored and how it's monitored effectively.
It's, again, sending a signal, though. It's, if I leave that to the people who issue the passes and how they sell the credentials and the resale. Obviously you can't police a lot of the reselling market, but I do think that if you ban someone from live from all UK stadiums for that, it may have someone take pause. Just say, do I really want to tweet this? Which is what you should ask anyway before you tweet anything. Should I really tweet this?
Don't press send.
Yes.
I've said that a lot lately.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
Many times.
I just think that, just take that moment and pause. And if this helps people pause and say, okay, we'll take a minute here. No, I will not tweet that, obscenely horrific image to someone because, that would make me a scumbag. And I don't feel like being a scumbag today. Let's go to Twitter really quick. Nathan Pugh. says for as far as who you would get, he says he would take Hazard at 1. Any other defender other than VVD and Kane would be his. That would be his purchase list for Real Madrid.
That I was going to bring up Harry Kane. I'm glad Nathan brought him up. That's a really interesting one. I've wondered what Harry Kane's production would be like on the continent.
Do I use the Gareth Bale example?
Well, they're very, 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 very different players. As different as you can get. So you could, but I don't think it necessarily translates.
Would Harry Kane's style of play in the Prem translate to a Real Madrid?
We've seen English strikers go to Spain and have success. We've seen some go and not have success. Kane's one that I don't know.
I think he would have success.
I lean that way too. It's a really intriguing idea.
I think that if with Kane's ability, he just seemed like, because if we haven't seen, and I'm going to get nuked on this. RIP my mentions.
Go for it.
But when you have English strikers that perform well in the Prem, and then on an international stage, it just doesn't seem to click, or that production just drops off some. That to me is that's the best red flag right there. Whenever we look at Kane, I would say that Kane has performed well just about almost against every team he's gone against, where he doesn't look like he vanishes entirely. Like, you could tell he's there. He's either pulling defenders with him. There's no point when the other team says, yeah, we got him, don't worry about it. Just leave him. Let him do whatever the hell he's going to do. I don't see that ever with Kane. He's somebody who appears to be dangerous at all times. I think he could succeed in La Liga. The way he moves, the way he strikes the ball, I just think that it's something where if you put him against a Girona, you put him against an Atletico Madrid, I think it could be done. Atletico Madrid would be a tough matchup for him just by the way that they are organized and how physical they are, but I think Kane could do it. I think that's a good call.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by that. I like the idea. I do. That would be that'd be another bold statement too.
It would be. It would be we are the Galacticos and we are back.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, we went and got Spurs best boy again. That's what we do. ATL UTD fan number 1, 100% agree with Nick Aliffi. Oh, these are my favorite tweets. Thank you.
That's frightening, Joe. That's very frightening to 100% agree with Nick Aliffi.
We won't see the best version, if there is a best version, until June. I also agree De Boer isn't going anywhere, so we need to let up and get on the bus on this one. The team has my full support at Soccer Down Here. Yes, I can. It's, the situation ain't changing. So, let's just see where this little science experiment goes. That's just my, you want to be a boober, be a boober. That's your call. You want to, who is going to walk through the door? All right, let's, we'll use the Tennessee example as what happens when you get rid of a coach. Then you start the cycle of buffoonery. AC Milan, you want to keep it soccer. They had
cycle of buffoonery.
It is. They had Allegri, the guy who has led Juventus to unprecedented success. They had him at Milan, and they chased him out the door. They said, no, get out of here. You're a bum. We don't want you here anymore. And then they started the cycle of buffoonery, in which they said, hey, give me a list of every AC Milan player with a coaching badge. Okay, get him in. Whether it's Clarence Seedorf, Pippo Inzaghi, Gattuso, you had Montella, you had everybody in there. It didn't matter who it was. They came cycling through. Yeah, Leonardo was in there. Fire one guy, better have the right answer coming through that door right behind him, or else insanity begins. Ask Manchester United fans. You had a guy who left on his own accord. right? Sir Alex Ferguson gracefully walked out the door. Let's go ahead and go down that list of managers while we're at it. Who is walking through the door? Is it a guaranteed hit? Is it a guaranteed home run? If the answer is no, be patient. Because it's not like. Go ahead, Jason.
As we're winding down, I had another question because you mentioned Manchester United.
Okay.
Why has Ole Gunnar Solskjaer not been giving a contract yet? Why has this not happened?
For real.
Drugs. There's something in the water.
Ed Woodward out.
There's chemtrails. They're putting chemicals in the water that are producing talking frogs. You could say whatever you want. Whatever it is, it's happening to Ed Woodward because they need to hire the man right now. What are you waiting on?
I mean, what else does he have to do?
Well, look, yeah, okay, so you lost to Arsenal, okay, yes. And there will be people say, oh, you lost to Arsenal.
League miracle, no more.
Did you watch the game in Paris? Did anyone watch the game in Paris? The quote a line from one of my favorite movie, Aliens, did IQs drop sharply while I was away? Figure it out. Come on. United, don't fall into that trap.
Here's a rumor that's out there, and I'm checking what could be the validity of it. This is Nicolo Schira from La Gazzetta dello Sport. Mm-hmm. Zinedine Zidane has signed a contract until 2022, 16 million euro per year.
Wow, very good. Nice.
First transfer, he wants N'Golo Kante.
Ooh,
interesting.
If that is accurate, here's the problem with rating Chelsea right now. From if you're the buying club, and that is that Chelsea is stuck with the transfer ban. Yes, they do have 176,000 players on loan, but they don't have anyone I think that can readily come in and replace Kante. I just N'Golo Kante is an exceptional player, and Chelsea will demand an insanely high fee to get him out because they want to be able to come out of the transfer ban with both barrels ready to go and a massive transfer fund to make up for lost time. I think they would be opposed to it, but you're going to have to pay out the nose to make it happen.
I mean, The Independent is saying that Zidane was promised £300 million transfer overhaul.
Which is roughly what we talked about before. That 300 to 400 million transfer window is what he would have to have, because there's so much work to be done with that roster. It's like when your favorite baseball or football team starts getting old. No matter what their championship success was, as a Yankees fan, I watched as that team of their own version of the Galacticos got older and older and older, and the contracts were still there. And it's not easy to overcome unless you're Real Madrid. And then you can just dump guys and, eat the loss because your revenues are so stupid high. But he has a lot of work to do. Zidane's going to walk in and he's going to have to, every bit of that 300 million will be out the door probably in about a 2-week window.
Are you surprised that they didn't hold out and try to get Mauricio Pochettino?
No, because they needed a known quantity. The fan base would not allow. The fan base would not allow that level of risk to come in. They needed, and I don't think Florentino Perez could have survived if that had fallen apart, because we all know that it takes a very, very unique individual to be the manager of Real Madrid. The pressure is like nowhere else on earth. And the fan base is, waiting for you with razor blades, and the owner is waiting for you with knives. And you have to walk the tightest of tightropes in order to succeed. And anything less than league glory, Champions League glory, Copa del Rey glory, Club World Cup glory, name the trophy, even if it hasn't been invented yet. Even that one that Orlando City was chucking around in their own little individual tournament that they invented. Yeah, sure. That one too. They want everything. And if you're not ready for that and you're not prepared for it, it'll eat you alive. It ate Jose Mourinho alive. The manager with the greatest ego in the history of mankind sí, per mi dictato, sí. It ate him alive. He was a shell of himself by the time he left that job.
Never recovered.
Never recovered. And because that job eats you in a way that I don't think any other job will. And the monster that is Barcelona, it's not really going anywhere. I mean, even if Messi retires in 2 years, let's say 2 years he's out. You think Barcelona is going to sit back and wait? No. The machine, the show goes on. You're going to need an army to get him out of there. They're doing the speech from Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not leaving. So the only thing Real Madrid can do is reload, and they're going to do it. But no, Pochettino wouldn't be that guy. Pochettino would be a guy that I think would be a very good manager. He would last 2 years at Real Madrid, tops. Realistic, I say 9 months.
Wow.
It would eat him alive. I think he's a good enough manager, because you have to understand, with Real Madrid, there's a difference between being a good enough manager to survive and being a strong enough individual to survive. Two different things. Because if you manage a big club, and if you're a Spurs fan, this is not a shot at you. Spurs are not on the level of Real Madrid, Barcelona.
No.
It's just not there.
No.
You're not. And so when you go to a club that large, people are coming at you from every different direction, and I think it's a little different because even the hometown fans are just as psycho as the worldwide fans. It's one of those weird phenomena where it's, like if you go to Turin, they're Torino fans. They're not Juventus fans. Most of the Juventus fans are abroad. It's like Italy's representative team that they just send out and, hey, look, this is Italy ball. Yay. You don't have to worry about that much. Madrid, different animal entirely. So if you're there, you better make your life as comfortable as possible. $16 million a year will do it. And I wouldn't be shocked if he has a clause in his contract that says, hey, look, I can step away anytime I want and come back. Name the insanity. Name it. And I guarantee you his agent has put it in there. So I
get to wear Lululemon culottes on the sideline.
Done.
I mean, he's got to do it now. He's already displayed it to the world. I mean, he's got to do it now.
Yeah, now he has to. And there were rumors that, and if you're in the big losers in all of this, Juventus, because the fan base was, and they're still screaming for Allegri to be fired after insane success in Serie A. No, he hasn't had the success in Champions League, but they want him gone. And what everybody wanted was Zidane to come in. There were rumors flying around as early as this morning that Zidane had turned down Real Madrid and signed a contract with Juve until 2022. And then I saw another rumor that said that Zidane had only signed to be a caretaker manager for Real Madrid until the end of the season, and then he was going to take the Juve job. And if any of this, any remote shred of this, and it's not true, but if a remote shred of it was based in fact, and Allegri walks at the end of the year, who are you going to go get? There are rumors that say that Juve is going after Pep Guardiola. You think Pep Guardiola is leaving Manchester City to go to Juventus?
No.
That'd be a no.
No.
No, Pep's next job will be New York City FC when they build a new stadium.
His next job will be on the beach, chilling.
Well, in between, yes. I mean, but like, yeah.
Yeah, or it could be. But I think you're right in this.
Dog. There's the door.
Yeah. I will say this.
Dome will happily be Pep's assistant again. That is completely fine.
When Pep leaves Manchester City, it will be for a gig that no one in world soccer will expect. It will be like some City B team, it will be because he's a purist. He wants to build.
I gotta go in NYCFC. I like Jason's theory.
But I think if he does anything that would shock people, it would be NYCFC. Other than that, I mean, where has he been? He was at Barca, and he kind of got them at a time when, you had a little bit of a shakeup. He righted the ship. He built something magical. Then he goes to Bayern Munich. He could have went anywhere. He went to Bayern Munich. And then he could have went anywhere, and he goes to Manchester City. I mean, he's not going to go to anywhere small.
Not
don't
yet.
See it. Nah, I don't see it. I think if he goes anywhere small, it's in the City Football Group because there let's go if he wins the Champions League, which I think he will at Manchester City.
He'll get one.
If he wins it, City Football Group will say, "What do you want? What do you want? Do you want to own New York City FC? He loves.
Do you want an
New York.
island?
He loves New York. Where did he spend his year when he was on sabbatical before he went to Bayern? In New York. He's a basketball fan. So this is what's going to happen. City Football Group's going to buy the Knicks. They're going to buy the Knicks. They're going to let him be like a director of the Knicks and fix all that too. And then he's going to manage NYCFC and build a stadium, and then we're all in trouble.
James Dolan, Pep Guardiola, take your pick.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of sleep lately, so that just happened.
No,
so,
but you know what?
So here's your options under CFG.
Yep.
NYCFC, where they own 80%.
Yep.
Melbourne City,
You're not
full
going
ownership.
To Melbourne City.
Yokohama Marinos, where they own 20%.
No.
Club Atletico Torque, where they have full ownership.
Where is that?
Girona, where they own 4/9 of it.
No, he'll retire.
Or Sichuan Junior FC.
No. Pep
NYCFC.
loves New York City. Pep loves New York.
You know what? I think you may have sold me.
I blacked out when all that happened. I don't know what I said, but maybe there's some truth to it.
Five Stripe Stunner comes in regarding the De Boer situation. He says, yes, so long as it's not the same tired squad, give me Tito, AC, Bello, and others with stuff to prove. Hopefully we will see that this week. I would think that, but you're sort of in a catch-22 situation then if you're Frank, because if you trot out a quote-unquote second-tier squad and you lose and you get just decimated, how does that help you? I mean, sure, you could say, hey, look, we're resting players. Players clearly need rest before getting into the meat of the season. Yeah, great. But, how does that help you? If you feel that, and they do well, right? Then what? So if you're Frank, I don't know. Guys, I personally say trot out a B team lineup, and if you get drilled, you get drilled. Just make it fun. Just tell the guys, look, we're not advancing, so just go out and have fun. But when we lose the ball, this is what we do. The end. Have fun.
It's tough. It's an awkward situation because I think your ideal thing here would be to rest players, give some young guys an opportunity, see if you can get anything exciting happening, and that's it. But you have a pretty negative vibe going right now. Can you really do that? Is that going to go over well? I think people would understand it, but it's tricky. And then it puts even more pressure on Sunday against Philadelphia, where there has to be a result. I think there has to be a win, and a comfortable win, and a good-looking win. And it's a tough time right now. It's tough. You have this international break coming where you're going to be able to work on some things, but you're also going to be missing some people who are going to be called away. It's a very difficult time at the moment, and this is not the start you wanted. There's really no way around it.
But guys, look, I say get stupid with it, man. 4-3-3, B team lineup, throw caution to the wind. If you're going to tinker and experiment, this is the week, baby. Go for it.
It's going to be interesting. You could. You could. But there's going to be a lot of chatter, and how important is said chatter is probably the biggest question. I think this is different than chatter in other parts of the world and maybe the influence of the chatter.
I'll say it's different from this standpoint, and I don't know if this is necessarily in line with what you're thinking, but I would say that it's different in that being a newer team is a blessing and a curse, because you're not tied to a lot of old methodologies. You're not tied to a lot of old buffoonish, thought. You pretty much have your own roadmap to do things, but it also means that Yes, you have, 30,000 dedicated season ticket holders right now with a 2-year wait?
38,000 plus.
Yeah, and allegedly there's a 2-year wait.
Yes.
So you have a substantial fan base there, but if you like those 70,000 seat games, you have to embrace the fact that you have a lot of new casual fans, people who are probably brand new to the sport, and they were brought in on an idea. And if the idea is not there, they may, I'm not saying they walk, but their revenue becomes a little less concrete. As a result of that, that could be a problem. That could be a problem, something that you may need to address. I think there are ways around it outside of changing the manager and going on this massive, freak out session. Pub diplomacy. Do like you did in 2016, where you had Darren and Carlos going pub to pub to pub, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing selfies, handing out jerseys, handing out swag. Do that. And then that's where you do your pitch. Hey, look, this is what we're doing. Here's the logic behind it. Here's why we're not going to clean house. This is what we're building to. Do that. And I think that will help significantly, as opposed to kind of, hey, we're going to keep quiet. Frank's going to do this little bit of media here. As we've discussed, English is not his first language. Words may be taken out of context, cause more problems than they might have intended to. But you have to keep in mind that there are ways around this, but it's a process. Then you have to pitch the process and sell the process. Darren, he knows how to handle heat. Tottenham Hotspur, he's used to dealing with aggressive media and fans and all that. That's fine. I just think pub diplomacy, give out swag, reinvigorate that fan base. Because, when you're a championship squad, that's not typically stuff you have to do. But this is a unique situation. Being a newer team, you have to re-engage the fan base, issue some touchstones, and make sure that, for lack of a better term, your client health is good to go and that you are able to renew and rejuvenate that fan base.
Yeah, it's a big week, and I think it's almost, let's see how this week goes. Let's see how Wednesday goes. I think you can find success on Wednesday even if you don't advance. There's definite pathways to success if it's good performance, if it's an exciting performance, if you get some goals going, see some new faces potentially. And I think Sunday is very, very important. It's probably there's no probably. It's the most important early season match Atlanta United's ever had. And not so much from a playoff push, not so much from a supporter shield race, but from just a feel-good situation. I mean, there's definitely a negative vibe, in general right now, and that needs to change. You have to get a result Sunday to do it. So it's going to be a very, very interesting week on that front, and it's going to be a busy week too for all of us. So we've got Wednesday, CONCACAF Champions League. We're on Star 94.1 on radio. And 7:30 pre-match, 8 o'clock, kickoff probably 8:06, and full-time report for an hour afterwards. Then ATL UTD 2 on Friday against Louisville City. Big game as well. The twos look really good. Actually coming up in about 20 minutes on the SDH network, our first edition of the twos review will be posted. Here's some audio from after the match. Hear my thoughts, John's thoughts, Jarrett's thoughts. Hear the highlights. All that will be hitting right after we're done. And then Sunday, the big game with Philadelphia, who will be missing Marco Fabian, who has been really, really bad lately. Two teams that are going to be a little desperate on Sunday. Could be very intriguing viewing, whether in person or on TV. That'll be our first Fox Sports Southeast match of the season. So Kevin Egan will be back. Jillian Sakovits will be back. Our friends, Dan Gargan, back. It's going to be good. And we'll be back on Star 94 for radio. So you've got all the options for Atlanta United coverage, matches, all the stuff this week. It's a hectic one. Nick, we need to get going because you have a big game to watch at 8:10.
I do.
Defensa y Justicia.
There you go.
Hosting Bonfield, Eric Remetti's former club.
Oh, wow.
My boys handled the business.
You got a big result over the weekend. Colón drew
Defensa.
with Racing 1-1. So win would pull your Defensa squad 1 point back.
All I'm saying is, since I have declared fandom, and remember I'm a lifelong Defensa fan.
It's true.
Since I've openly declared my fandom for the squad, the results have been there. So if you have a team out there that you need to, a little bit extra performance, hit me up. I take Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App, and let me know which team it is. Pitch me on your team, and maybe we can make some magic happen. But this Sunday, the Milan Derby's happening, 3:30. It will decide who is in third place for the Champions League spot in Serie A. 1 point separates Milan and Inter right now. So much to play for. That is my game of the week that you need to be paying attention to after Defensa tonight.
Yes. I am just hoping that we get a match day 25 Racing hosting Defensa for the title.
Yes.
The schedule just worked out to where that's the final match day, 1 and 2. If that happens, we might have to have a Soccer Over There viewing party somewhere we can get that shown.
We can make that happen. We'll make it happen.
We have to figure out a way to do this. Times are not announced, kickoff times just yet, for April 7. But that would be amazing.
All right, we've gone CONCACAF on stoppage time here. We apologize for that. Thank you for listening, though. We're going to get out of here. I made dinner earlier for Food Network over there. Now I actually have to eat dinner over there. It's going to happen. So thank you so much for listening, guys. We appreciate it. We love you so much. Please stream us, tweet at us, do whatever you got to do. Nick Aliffi, John Nelson, anything before we get out of here?
All the lira must go to the Bolton Wanderers roster.
Yeah, they need to get paid.
Get those boys paid. Come on, pay your players. What's up? You gotta do what you gotta do. That's a problem. Until then, pay your players. Give them all the pound sterling. They need it. Mucha euro, y'all.
Mucha pound sterling, y'all.